Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to episode 477 of DrunkNerds podcast. And so always, I'm Tyler. Join me with the man, the myth, the legend himself, Sir Colonel Gables. How's it going, buddy?
Hey, yo, it's
Yeah,
going pretty good.
yeah. So if you don't remember, you missed the first part. We just did a whole hour plus on the Nintendo Direct. So you want to, if that's what you're here for, go back to 476. That's what all is. So we're just doing a. We figured it'd be better to break it all off and do a separate thing. So this is us. We're gonna go through the rest of the news for the week. Not a lot, and then we're gonna talk about what we've been playing. So I figured instead of having like one big 2 hour long podcast, better just break them up and have a couple of shorter podcasts, make it a little easier to digest for people. Um, but anyways, moving on here, Gables, we do have some news here. Once again, Fanbyte. It is the website of the week for us with Resident Evil 4 news, Gables. So this is the same.
Right.
They did talk a lot about last year about how Resident Evil 4 was in development, and they talked about there were some issues with the original developing team, and then that I think the team of Resident Evil 2 had basically taken over development on it. So now we got some more news. So bear with me as I read through some of this stuff here. So once again, it's from Imran Khan, who did the Nintendo Direct article that I use, and once again, thank you very much. So some stuff here I want to talk about here. So I'm gonna kind of skim through some of this here. So despite not actually being confirmed yet, a remake of Resident Evil 4, considered by some to be one of the best video games of all time, has been traveling the rumor circles for some time. The story goes that Capcom, emboldened by the promising milestones of Resident Evil 2 remake, during its development started work on matching remake of Resident Evil 4 as a project. I can't read now. As the project began its I don't even know what that word means. Denouement, whatever. Which would be over 15 years old by the time it released. That rumor is true according to our sources. The game is in development and set to be revealed this year, if all goes according to plan, of course. The title was originally developed by M2, a studio former Capcom and mostly ex-Platinum gamers that were also working on the Resident Evil 3 remake. Capcom was apparently hoped by agreeing on that project that they could entice Shinji Mikami, the original director of the game, now at Tango Gameworks. He's did like the Evil Within 1 and 2 and is doing the Ghostwire Tokyo, to work on the title alongside old friend Tatsuo Minami. I can't pronounce that, I'm sorry. This is actually part of the reasoning behind the name M2 itself. Mikami was reportedly intrigued by the offer, but felt Tango would fall apart without him and eventually declined. After some mixed response to Resident Evil 3 remake, Capcom shifted the project internally and put the Resident Evil 2 remake project leads on it. M2 shifted to as a support role through the original work is still being used. From the foundation, Capcom is no longer looking to for a strict scene-by-scene remake of Resident Evil 4 lauded through it. Sorry, I lost my spot here. Lauded though it may be, while the original title began with rookie cop turned Secret Service agent Leon S. Kennedy arriving in a European village at daytime and slowly gunning his way all the way through the bad guys over the course of 24 hours. The remake adjusts that timeline in Resident Evil 4 remake. The famous village introduction set piece takes place at night, as does a decent portion of the rest of the game. So kind of the big thing about... Oh, there's more here. Sorry, I'm going to keep going. The reason for this time change isn't arbitrary. Capcom wants to adjust the tone of the remake into something spookier, taking direct inspiration from discarded Resident Evil 4 demos. That footage, which was used in early GameCube preview reels, feature Leon wandering a lonely castle, getting possessed by black smoke, fighting off living dolls. This sounds like Resident Evil 8 now, as well as other ghostly manifestations. Some of the stuff made its way into the original game in other ways. Most of it, however, was left on the cutting room floor, and direct comparisons are being made during the development of the remake. There have been some changes to the story, giving bigger roles to some of the side characters. So like they're getting more screen time. They want to flesh out other aspects of the game. One of the focuses is Assignment Ada, which was a short campaign starring Leon. She's the Ada Wong, who was like your she kind of worked against you, but was like also like kind of helping you throughout the game. She had like a mini version that was like part of the game. I think after you beat the game, it was unlocked. It kind of like basically what she would like. It was like Lion King 1.5, where you like played as her during the Leon Academy. You did the same thing in Resident Evil 6, where after you beat all three, you unlocked the Ada Wong thing as well. So they're gonna flesh out more of her. The Lost Plague samples for our Archville Albert Wesker, stuff like that, like her collecting all those. There's also going to be largely been considered non-canon bonus that does not make a lot of sense with the game's timeline, stuff like that. So a lot of like, basically they're going. We've seen this with like the Resident Evil 2 and 3, with like they're kind of making adjustments to the game itself. Sometimes cutting out entire pieces of content, like Resident Evil 3 Clock Tower. That whole part was taken out of the game. Like at Resident Evil 2, they've added stuff to it. They changed they tweaked the storyline. They tweaked the overall thing of it. Like Resident Evil 4 is kind of like goofy in a lot of ways. Like you had the little tiny guy that was like, like he was very goofy and like it was funny, dumb shit in the game. But like it seems like they're going for a more serious, darker tone. I've talked about Resident Evil 4 is one of my all-time favorite games. I didn't really care about Resident Evil before 4, and for a long time I didn't really care about Resident Evil 4 or Resident Evil until really up until last. I beat 5. I beat 6, but I wasn't like a big fan up until really 7 came out. And then the remakes. So I'm still on board for this. I'm not like super mad, upset. Like I understand like they're making tweaks and they're kind of like reimagining these games. As long as like it still hits that nostalgia for me, I'm totally fine. Like I don't need this thing to be a 1-to-1 remake. So I mean, like I'm just happy it's still happening. What about you, Gables?
As long as it doesn't violate what the original was intended to go forth and portray, and as long as the control style is reworked to a way to where it's modernized, but it's not overtly like action oriented in some retrospects and stuff, I am open to the Resident Evil 4 remake in that regards. But at the same time, it's like this could go this could go wrong fairly quick, especially if hearing the news, hearing little bits of rumors and stuff saying like they were initially went to try to have Shinji Mikami go forth and be like in like a producer sort of role and stuff, but obviously him being tied with his own game studio and stuff like that. I mean, with Ghostwire Tokyo, his team is go forth helping create and this and that. It's like that's kind of disheartening to hear that one of the main proprietors of like the success of Resident Evil 4 to begin with is not there in regards to overseeing like the remaster of this game. But at the same point, I am more concerned in regards to the quality of what they do change inside of this game, because I can understand with Resident Evil 2 and 3, because those games were longer ways away and stuff from the initial releases. There's a lot of things you can go forth to make it more kind of similar to like a modern type of style and stuff. But Resident Evil 4, this is a game that's been multiply ported and basically highly regarded as one of the best inside of the series. So my overall wish is for this game to be good, that there's not going to be too much issues with it, and that we see footage of this game soon.
Yeah.
I want my doubts put to rest with the revealing of this.
Yeah. I'm like we've talked about like for a long time that Resident Evil 4, this is the toughest remake for them to do, where they gotta really, there's a thin line that I think that they can piss a lot of people off very easily with this game. And I think they're gonna piss a lot of people off probably regardless of what they do. But
yeah,
I mean, yeah, I don't know. It's weird because it's like if it comes out and it's good, I'll just be happy with that. Like if it just comes out, it's a good game. Like I don't even care about like, as much as I love Resident Evil 4 and I've talked about that. I beat that game more than any other game in my entire life. I would remember playing that. I think I beat that game probably close to 20 times. I remember playing the game, beating it enough times that I finally unlocked the infinite rocket launcher, and I did a whole playthrough where I only used the rocket launcher. I maxed out every weapon. I would do like, I'm gonna beat this game with only killing less than 100 zombies. I'm gonna play this and do it where I kill over 1,000 zombies, shit like that. So yeah, like I'm not like super like gonna be bumped out as long as like the story is semi good. And they don't fuck with the merchant, I'm not gonna be too upset about it. And I feel like pretty positive they won't, because they have the Duke in Resident Evil 8, so it tells me they're still cool with doing dumb shit. So that's really all I want. Like let it still be dumb Resident Evil fun. But I understand, like, I'm all for it. But like if they remake Resident Evil 5 and I don't punch a fucking boulder, I'm gonna be pissed. I'll be real pissed. I will boycott this franchise. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't got too much to say on that one other than that. So Moving on, Gables. We got some fun news here, Gables. We have motherfucking NPDs, and I'm
Yes, we
excited
do.
about it. You know me, I love NPDs. So I'm trying to stretch this out as I load the page for NPDs, and I've run out of things to say. I'm still loading those things, but I'm having a good time. It is. I hit the wrong goddamn button. I was so. There we go. There we go. I tried downloading an app. I don't even know what app that was. I clicked on an ad. All right, here we go, Gables. NPDs
All
for
right.
January. All right, totally did not. None of that happened. I don't know what you guys talking about. It was seamless. Okay, Gables. Number 20 for the month. Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War came back. Actually, fell out of the top 20 and came back in this month. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate 19. Halo Infinite dropped from 2 to 18. Forza Horizon 5 is 17. Animal Crossing New Horizons is 16. Mario Party Superstars is 15. NBA 2K22 is 14. Minecraft sitting at 13. Far Cry 6 at 12. Pokemon Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl dropped from 3 to 11. Battlefield 2042 dropped from 5 to 10. Rainbow Six Extraction fucking burned my ass on goddamn fucking Fantasy Critic. But it's sitting at number 9, first month out. Mario Kart 8 is at 8. FIFA 22 is at 7. Spider-Man Miles Morales is at 6. God of War jumped from 146 to 5th because it did have the PC port come out this last month. Madden NFL sitting pat at 4. And Monster Hunter Rise also had a PC port. Jumped from 94 to 3. Call of Duty Vanguard after 3 months after 2 months as number 1 dropped to 2. And Pokemon Legends Arceus with only 4 days on the list, number 1. We talked about last week they had sold over 6.5 million copies in the first 3 days. So one of the best selling Pokemon games of all time. I mentioned like God of War and Monster Hunter shooting basically from the 90s and the 140s to the top 5 with the PC port. So that's glad still selling. Miles Morales in the top at number 8 or in the top 10 rather. That's it's the Mario Kart of the PlayStation where it's just you buy a PlayStation 5, you get Miles Morales with it. So yeah, I mean, mostly a lot of the same shit we've seen, but it's pretty cool to see that Legends Arceus after just a handful of days on the list outsells Call of Duty. What was your thoughts on this one, Gables?
Well, honestly, I'm fairly surprised that Pokemon Legends Arceus not only at number 1, but also like the amount of copies that were sold just in the initial 4 days. I mean, that's just crazy that it only took it 4 days to topple over everything else inside of that same month.
Yeah. Yeah, it's nuts. And like this is based off money too. So like there's only a $60 version of this when you got like Call of Duty Vanguard. There are like $100 versions. Like it's cool to see like Monster Hunter and God of War. Those games seemingly doing very well. I'm not shocked too much about Monster Hunter Rise because I bet there's probably a lot of people that held off on buying it on Switch or just didn't own Switch and just going to wait for that to come out on PC. Especially when they said you can't bring over your save. That's awesome. God of War coming out and top 5, so that's incredible. Rainbow Six Extraction number 9. I'm kind of surprised about that one. That's a $40 game. It's not a full price game, being in the top 10. So that's one of those games that feels like it came out and just nobody cared. Yeah, like even the game was like a Game Pass game. I still feel like after like that initial weekend, no one cared. So, but pretty good month. I feel like overall. Moving on to Gables. So we have to do our. I keep saying this every week that we're not gonna make this a weekly thing, but there's so many games coming out, it's just become a weekly thing. And I promise once it slows down, this will not be a weekly thing. But we gotta do a Fantasy Critic update for our Fantasy Critic League. So some things have happened. A couple games have come out. We've each bid on some games. So Gables and I, we each bid on Mario Strikers, Live a Live, and Xenoblade 3. I was able to get Xenoblade Chronicles 3 with a tiebreaker. We both bid $10, and but I won. I don't understand the tiebreaker, but for some reason I won it. Gables, I bid $10 on Mario Strikers. Gables bid 15. I put down $3 on Live a Live. Gables put down 5. I'm a fucking idiot. I knew I should have upped it. I also was able to bid on MLB The Show 22. So we've added some games. Gables has still got $70 left for bidding on games. I got 85 left. He's only got 6 slots left, where I have, I think, 9. Yeah, I have 9 slots. So run low on slots. But and it's the first week of February. So we do have our first casualty of the year. Gables drafted Mario Kart, the next mainline console game for Mario Kart. We now know that's not happening with the DLC announcement for Mario Kart 8. So he got a 0 on that. But All the Other World did come out, and he got 15 points for that. And King of Fighters 15 isn't out yet, but the reviews have started coming out. As of right now, it's sitting at 83. So as long as that holds, he'll be sitting at 13 points. Dying Light 2 reviews are finally in, sitting at 77. I got 7 points for that. Seafood reviews came in that got 80 points, so I got 10 points for that. Cool thing is that they announced that they're going to do a patch later this here shortly that will make a easier mode for make it they're going to add like sliders for difficulty for people, which is awesome because that game sounds badass. But it sounds like it's a fucking bitch of a game to play. So not too much going on this week, but we do have a lot coming out in the pipeline. Like I mentioned, King of Fighters is coming out on Thursday. That's for Gables. I have Total Warhammer 3 coming out on Thursday as well, and I also have Horizon Forbidden West coming out on Friday. Can't wait for that fucking game. The reviews are coming out at midnight on Monday. So
on Monday, yes.
Yeah, so I am pumped to hear about that. I imagine it's gonna do very well, but can't wait to hear. Can't wait for the nerves to be calmed when everybody says, yeah, it's fucking fantastic, no shit. But you have that little thing in the back of your head. It's like, what if it's not that good? And that'll be heartbreaking if it's not.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So a couple other things though, Gables, before we move on. Microsoft put out another thing about Activision Blizzard, saying that their games are going to continue supporting games on PlayStation and look at supporting games on the Switch later on. But I still don't believe them. I just don't believe. People are like, oh, well, Call of Duty games are still coming to PlayStation. I just don't. It feels like it's not. I don't know. They could say with 100%, with zero doubt, we will continue to make the new yearly installment of Call of Duty games will be coming to PlayStation. Tyler, don't worry about it. Not even I care about these games, but they could tell me that, and I'd be like, I don't believe you. It's like, we will sign this contract and give you $30 billion if we break this contract, saying we will continue to put Call of Duty games on PlayStation. I could sign that contract and still say, I don't believe you. That's where I'm at. I just don't believe them. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, Gables, when with all that stuff, where are you at?
Oh well, at that same point, it's like I personally don't believe that they are going to go forth and keep that.
I mean, they might as well. They should give us 2 $30 billion contracts, and if they break the contract, then they give us $30 billion.
Well, that's the thing though. It's like we don't know like how many of these games under contract and stuff like that they technically had with PlayStation. So it's like. It could have been just for this year and next year, for all we know. It could have been for the next 3 years.
Well, they said this is past the contract that Activision already has in place. So,
oh, really?
Yeah, they said this is going past that. So but I still don't believe them.
Yeah, I could possibly see it maybe for this year, but no. If it's not even under contract any longer and stuff that they have to fulfill their obligations to PlayStation, they're gonna cut it off. Absolutely.
Yeah, I don't believe him. I don't believe you. I don't believe you, Phil Spencer. I love you, Uncle Phil. I don't believe you. Moving on though. That's actually gonna kind of wrap it up for the new stuff. I haven't played too much Gables. I've been playing more of the same. I did really want to play not really want to, but I want to check it out. There's that Crossfire X game that came to Game Pass. It's like the big game that's like it's huge and like it's been huge in like South Korea for like a decade now. It's like a free to play multiplayer game. But they did like a campaign for it. It's exclusive to Xbox, and PC, but console-wise, Xbox. But Remedy makers of like Alan Wake and Control, they're making the campaign for it. And I'm like, oh, cool. Like, I don't know if this game's gonna be like. I feel like this game could be pretty cool, but whatever. It's Remedy making it. I love Remedy. I'll check this game out for sure. It came out Thursday. I just went to go play it Thursday night. Kind of pumped about it. Check it out. Whatever. Some reason it's just you can't access the campaign on Game Pass. And they put a thing on Twitter like they're working on getting it fixed. I'm like, oh, okay, whatever. I'll come back and check it out.
Okay.
I'll come back. I'm like, oh, I'm sure Friday they'll have it fixed. I haven't got a chance to look at it. Finally went back this morning, Saturday morning. It's been over 48 hours at that point. I'm like, all right, it's got to be fixed by now. I went to go play it. Still not working. No update since Thursday.
Really?
It's just so you can do the online, but you can't play the campaign. You can buy the campaign.
Cool.
So it's weird. So like the campaign there's part 1 and part 2. Part 1 is part of Game Pass. Part 2 is not. But they're $10 a piece. So it's not like they're super expensive. So you get the first one for free on Game Pass, but if you want to, you can buy it for $10. But part 2 you do have to buy. That is not a part of Game Pass. I heard it's pretty fucking terrible. Sounds like Game Pass, or it sounds like Remedy just got a shit ton of money to pump this game out real fast. And the rumors are it was in development hell for a long time, so they just kind of like we got to get this thing out. So, but I heard like the game is just buggy and broken. Like the multiplayer is bad, and then the campaign itself is bad. People are pissed. Just a lot of PlayStation fanboys are taking a victory lap the last couple of days on this one, which is I thought was like, fuck, really? Come on, guys. I don't know. Fanboys are dumb, but I don't know. I still want to I still want to check it out. I heard the campaign's only like a couple hours, but I was like, I still want to try it out because I'm like, it's Remedy. I'll give it a shot. But yeah, I tried playing that. I still can't, and I'm not paying money for it. I'll just continue to wait as long as I have forever long I have to play it, and then I don't know. But it doesn't come out soon. Like Horizons is coming. It's downloaded, Gables. It's pre-installed. There's a ticker on my PS5. If that thing hits 0, it's getting uninstalled. Crossfire X will be uninstalled.
The music from 24.
Yeah. You have 4 of those left. You have 4 24s left. And then I don't give a fuck about you anymore. And then I did play some more Uncharted 4. Still loving that game. I started getting like a little motion sick doing the 120 frames per second for some odd reason.
Oh, really?
I don't know why. Yeah, it's kind of making me. But like I don't know what it is. I just I started getting like a little queasy after like a couple hours, and I'm like, I didn't realize it. I'm like, so I stopped playing, and then I felt better a little bit later, and then I started playing again. I'm like, oh, maybe it's that. I think it's just a me thing. It's not like there's a problem with the game. It's definitely a me thing. Like I have issues like that from time to time, like game like motion stuff like that. Like my mom has issues with that too, and then I think it's maybe I get that from her kind of thing. So I dropped down. I'm just doing like the 30K 4K thing now, and that's doing perfectly fine for me.
Okay.
But that game is still utterly fantastic. I'm on chapter 11. But yeah, I'm still fucking loving that game. Every time the music swells, my eyes well up. So, music swells, I well. So that's where I'm at on that one. But yeah, that game is still fantastic, Gables. But that is really all I've been playing. Yeah, I thought there was one. I've been playing just Picross 7.
Okay.
Just came to Switch, Gables. I buy them every year. I put a ton of time into them every year. It's my game of the year essentially every year. I play a lot of that too. That's it. What about you, Gables?
I beat Pokemon Legends Arceus.
Fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it.
All right. So the initial thing was when I went through and beat it, I had a total time of 30 hours because
Wow, okay.
I was going through the environments and stuff, catching a bunch of different creatures, crafting a bunch of different types of Pokeballs, equipment, and stuff, medicines and stuff. I had a fucking blast playing this game. I mean, absolutely fucking blast. I mean, granted, it definitely made me forget about a lot of the graphical hitches and stuff like that game has, when you have all the tools at your disposal and stuff to where you can go and like you can fly anywhere or you can go and climb up specific like mountains and like when you can go and ride to and from and when you're gathering resources in order to try to get that next Pokemon or something like that or when you encounter like a random alpha Pokemon or a Pokemon you haven't even caught yet, just randomly. I didn't even realize, but I didn't even explore the full maps of like some of the different places. So I'm encountering new stuff still consistently, even like over 30 hours later, and even after finishing the main story of it, dude. It definitely gave me a great overall experience, even including with the story, you know. It definitely is a step above the average sort of Pokemon game. And even from beginning to end, this felt like a mainline Pokemon game and definitely felt like much more composed and much more like fleshed out in terms of how fresh the gameplay was on top of the exploration that was fun. I mean, hell, I still feel like I want to go forth and explore a lot of the open world because I want to go and find some more hidden secrets in regards to this like the resources, of course, the different Pokemon that are hidden in like key areas and stuff that you wouldn't think about looking, and all of a sudden you see them spawn into the map. And even in regards to the legendary stuff, you have the legendary Pokemon in general. I
Hmm.
mean, hell, there's a couple of different things I'm doing right now, and that's getting the last couple plates, and like getting the remaining legendary Pokemon.
Okay.
I mean, let me put into perspective here. I've already caught Dialga and Palkia, but I have also caught all three of the lake Pokemon and Cresselia.
Nice. All right, so
Dude.
let's get into a little spoiler conversation here. So people that
Okay.
like um that don't want to know more anything about this, like now this is your thing to get off now because we're talking about everything. So
Yeah.
3, 2, 1. All right, cool guys. It's just the real ones. Now we're talking about spoilers. Uh, so you're doing the post game content then is what you're saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I've
You're
been
gonna
doing the
do the
post.
whole you're gonna do the Pokedex. You're gonna find all the plates because
That
you
all.
gotta do it all. You got 100% to beat it.
It all depends, man. I mean, I may, but I'm still just going forth just with the key mechanics and stuff that I'm doing. I mean, if I end up completing it, I'll complete it. But if not and stuff, I'm not gonna be heartbroken about it. I mean,
Yeah.
hell, I'm having a blast with it.
Yeah, I just I was looking up all the shit you got to do to like to beat all of the to beat all the extra missions, and then you have to like complete the Pokedex. You got to find all the plates. A lot of backtracking, a lot of grinding. It seems like, and then I watched the ending of it, and I'm like, wow, that's what okay, that's what this is. Okay, wow, all right, I'm not doing that for sure. Not that I was really probably gonna do it anyways, but when I saw like what it all leads to, I'm like, nah, I'm out. I won't spoil that for you, but
Right.
Gables. But yeah. All right, cool. I do want to talk about. Okay, so the whole point of this goddamn game, the whole point of the story, is this kid gets like time travels and forgets his memories. But
Yeah.
like the end of the game leads to okay, you have to catch your legendary Pokemon of choice, and then you gotta go catch the other one, um, and then it just ends.
Yeah.
And there's no like we don't wrap up the story.
No,
Like
we don't.
this kid's just in the past now. Like we don't even talk. Like it's not even mentioned. Like what are you gonna do now? It's like you go back to your timeline, or you want to just stick around, or like they don't even bring it up. It's just like we built this whole game about this guy that came through the rift in the sky. That's what the whole game is about. And then the game ends and was like, we don't bring it up. It's like fucking I don't know. It's like the whole point of like it's like if you got to like Lord of the Rings, it's like the whole point is we want to dump this fucking ring into Mordor and
Right.
destroy it. And we just get to like the final like part of it and like they get to the end there and like get to the end of it and they just like all right, well, it's gonna turn around now, but they didn't drop it in the ring. They didn't drop the ring in the fire. I was like,
It's
we just stopped. Like, this is it. We're just
yeah.
done. We just cut off the last like 30 minutes of this movie. It's like Gollum's been chasing you for the last fucking 16 hours, and we're just gonna cut it off here. Okay, cool. It's like oh we're done. We're moving on. I don't know. It's just weird. I'm like, what the fuck was the point of all that? Like I don't know. It was baffling. I was stunned when I got to the. I'm like, okay, this is what we're doing.
It definitely is abrupt, and I was kind of caught aback too that wasn't not only was it not addressed and stuff, but yet I was highly expecting. It's like, oh, okay, they're gonna transfer him back after all. He's gonna go back right after all of his stuff, but no. the post game content and stuff, you're still doing tasks, still earning like a bunch of different things and stuff, and this highly sets up, in my personal opinion, future DLC because there's gonna be something more additional
But
to the story mode. I would
that's
suspect.
still bad. It's like if
Yeah,
they do DLC, it's like cool. We might you might get DLC and they might finish the story. That's like Prince of Persia, where like you had on 360, where it's like you had to buy the DLC to get the ending. It's like that's
yeah,
I mean it's not as bad because this game inherently is very good. And I still had a great time. Like the story is not the main focus of this game at all. But
no,
it's like
no,
they spend a like, but you still spend a lot of time with these characters, and the whole point of the whole point of the game is built upon this. Like you are this mystery character, and people like look at you a different way because of this. And it's like we just don't touch upon it. Like we get to like the whole game is based on this, and we get to the end. And it's like what were we doing again? And it's like they don't even like have after you like you catch you do what you do and you close the rift. It's like there's not even like the converse. I figured there'd at least be a conversation about like hey, why don't you stick around and help us out, or oh, looks like you're stuck here now, so why don't you complete the Pokedex? Like I don't know, like minor spoilers for you, Gables. When I watched the ending, I went and googled the endings of like the if you do the 100% thing, just because I wanted
yeah.
to see if it does close that gap, and it doesn't. It doesn't.
Wow,
It just never closes the gap. So I don't know. I just thought that was like really fucking weird. It's like
that is that is highly
okay,
weird that it's not even addressed or of that sort. And if it's for the case that it's going to be leading into an eventual DLC, that's really stupid.
yeah. Like I'm all for more content. I want to play more of this game. I
Well,
just like
absolutely.
the way they handle the story is just really stupid. I can't
Yeah,
like I said, I understand it's like ninth on like the concerns of like this game for sure, or like it's like the ninth most important thing probably on this game. But it's just like I don't know, it's bad. But yeah, I'm glad you love the game. I was actually like I was when I was playing this, I'm like like you being the Pokemon fan, like for me, I'm just like I as long as it hits that nostalgia for me, and yeah, I was pretty much happy. And it hit the nostalgia for me, and like it makes me excited for the future. But like for the first time in a very long time, I've actually been really excited for like what the future of these games could be. Because like
well, yeah,
not only is it hitting nostalgia for me, but they're actually like really good games to play.
absolutely, absolutely. This is a fantastic foundation of what they're going to build upon for the next game, in both the gameplay, in terms of the exploration, and in terms of the story. Hopefully.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, like I don't, I can't wait to see what they do. Like if this becomes the future, which it needs to be of the Pokemon franchise, I can't wait to see what they do when they bring it to like the modern day Pokemon world.
Yeah,
'Cause
really.
that's gonna be more exciting to me. But I mean, I feel like that's gonna be coming on the Switch 2 or the next Switch console is, because there's no way they're gonna be able to do like the shit that like big cities in Pokemon sense in this game on the Switch. It just won't
Yeah,
work.
really.
Like I understand like putting us in the past, doing separate areas, having a very small village with not a lot going on in it was the only way you could probably make it work. And I'm fine with it. I'm not like trying to talk shit about it. There's like I said, I've talked about last week. There's definitely problems, but it's like the gameplay in the game is good enough that it doesn't really deter for me too much. So like I can get past it because that's how good this fucking game is. So yeah, I'm glad you loved it. I'm really happy, and I can't. I'm stunned that you. How many hours did it take you to beat the game?
Let's see. So, let's see. Just to beat the game in general. Let's see. I was still doing like a lot of training, a lot of going through and building up a party. But yeah, I ended it at like with 30 hours in terms of my single gameplay. I have
Okay.
chalked up more hours obviously after and for post game stuff. But yeah, I just stuck with my core party and stuff, and I switched like my Gabite and stuff, that dragon Pokemon and stuff, with Dialga, when just to finish it off. But oh, did you end up what? Which person did you end up going with though? Did you end up going with Automon or Iridia?
The girl.
The girl. Okay,
Yeah.
you went with the girl, so that meant that you had to face Palkia first, correct?
Yeah, the pearl one, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. I did the exact opposite where I went with Automon and stuff like that, and I got to face Dialga first, and then I got to face off against Palkia afterwards, and
Yeah.
oh, Jesus Christ, it looked like a fucking fusion between like a griffin and a goddamn like demonic pony, almost. It
Those
was
the
so fucking weird.
that boss fight was like really easy though. I thought that
Yeah,
was the
there
only like,
were.
downside. Those like boss fights weren't like I don't know. I kind of wanted more out of them. Like I thought the one before it, the last area where you're like on the cliff, like
Yeah,
fighting the one, that one was
that was
actually like kind of difficult. Like, I came kind of close to dying, and the other ones were like pretty simple.
There were
And
a
like
couple battles that did feel that way. The one with Avalugg and also the one with the Arcanon, I thought I had like a little trouble with too.
okay, I didn't really. The only one I struggled with was the one where you're on the cliff. I can't remember who you were fighting. But that one I
Right.
thought was like that one fucked me up pretty good. Um, but yeah, like that one, like I didn't even have to I didn't even have to pull out a Pokemon on the very last boss. Like I just
Wow.
knocked him out. Like I actually only had to pull a Pokemon out on one of the fights, and that was the one the one on the cliff. I did that was the one I had to
Oh
pull actually
wow.
fought in the battle. Like the rest of them, I just kept throwing the fucking thing and dodging their attacks and eventually beat them.
Yeah,
So
I kept using my Pokemon throughout the stuff to try
okay,
to whittle down their HP quicker and stuff like that. But yeah, yeah, that was the last one and stuff. Like the last one, the Avalugg and stuff before the final boss battle and stuff. Yeah, that was the one I used the least amount of Pokemon, like maybe once or twice.
yeah, yeah. Because I was really hoping to like battle. I really wanted to battle the last Pokemon because I like because
Right.
you battle the first legendary. And I was like, and that was actually a tough fight. That like I actually the closest I came to, I was down to my last Pokemon when I finally when I beat him. Um, so I was hoping to like go back in and like kind of do the same thing, but you had to like beat it with the legendary because you have to carry
Right.
your first legendary into the battle
Yep.
to beat the fight the second, and like I didn't even have to use it. So I was like, oh, all right, that was just kind of a waste of slot. But yeah, I don't know. I still had a blast with the game. I'm kind of nitpicking on it, but um, yeah, I like I said, I can't wait to see what they do in the future because,
Mm.
like I thought it was like I could have used maybe a few more battles, like trainer battles, um, but like I don't know, like honestly, like doing like when you walk around the world, like I didn't want to battle, like I wanted to battle the alphas, but I was more interested in catching Pokemon, like you're like the way the experience points and the way the game works out, like it like kind of deters you from like really wanting to battle, but like I loved how fast paced it worked out, like you kind of had to be like they added more strategy to it, or like I said, like, you could figure out ways to sneak in a third attack in a row, and or like just I love the strong tile and the agile style stuff. Like I love that and how like I said, like most battles didn't last more than a minute, and
Mm.
I loved it. Definitely I I don't think it's gonna be my game of the year, but I think it's gonna be tough to fall outside the top five. Honestly,
Yeah, that's the thing. We're gonna have a lot of fantastic games this year.
yeah.
And quite honestly, it's like this is definitely one of those games that are gonna be in the talks of like say the top 10.
Yeah, like I said, like if this game falls out of my top five, that means this is 2017 type of year because this
Yeah.
game is this is fantastic. And like I said, this is the game that 7-year old Tyler wanted, you know,
Yep.
and we finally got it, and it's great. Now we just need to do one with just red and blue though, because we can get rid of the Gen 1 and Gen 2 only. Get rid of the rest. Fuck them. Except for my Corgi Electric type, I want him back. He can stay. But I don't know. Anything else you want to say, Gibbles?
No, I'm good.
Okay. Well, guys, thank you for coming. If you listened to the first part, thank you guys for coming back for the second part. Or if you missed the first part, go back and check that one out because we spent a lot of time talking about the direct. We did not plan to wear the Mario shirts, by the way.
No,
Both
we
of, well,
didn't.
we both individually planned on wearing them, but we didn't realize we didn't plan on wearing them together. It's kind of funny how that happened. I meant to mention at the top of the first episode, and I totally spaced it. But yeah. Anyways, thank you guys once again so much for listening. I was host. I was Tyler.
And I have been Colonel Gables. So until next time, have yourself a fun week, everyone. Thank you.
Too sweet, guys.
Too sweet.
Bye, guys.
See ya.